This episode mentions suicide. If you or someone you know is struggling, help is available by calling or texting 988. On November 8, 2024, a 30-year-old landed at LAX with plans to catch a connecting flight to New York City for a trip of a lifetime. However, she missed her connecting flight and her family began receiving bizarre and concerning texts from her. After a month of intense searches for her, all that remains is unanswered questions. Welcome to Without a Trace. I'm your host, Jalyn. Every fowl holds a mystery. Every story deserves to be heard. This is Hannah's story. Hannah Kobayashi, a 30-year-old Maui resident, is described as a genuine, free spirit who has an artistic and creative soul. Starting at a young age, Hannah loved all things art. Since she graduated high school, she has worked various gigs while pursuing creative passions. Hannah loves to travel, and she loves photography, art, and music. So when the budding photographer received an offer to photograph a DJ's show in mid-November in Brooklyn, Hannah jumped on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Hannah had been excited about her trip to New York and booked all of her accommodations, including a $2,000 hotel room. She had written out an itinerary for her trip, which was scheduled to take place November 9th through the 16th. On November 8th, 2024, Hannah flew from Maui to Los Angeles International Airport with plans to fly to New York City. She was traveling on the same itinerary as her ex-boyfriend, with both planning to take a flight to John F. Kennedy International Airport. The pair decided to keep their flight since they could not get a refund, but they planned to part ways once they arrived in New York. Hannah landed at LAX at 9:53 p.m. on November 8th. She had only about 40 minutes to reach her connecting flight, which left at 11 p.m. However, Hannah did not make her connecting flight, and she texted her family telling them that she would sleep at the airport. This is where Hannah and her ex-boyfriend part ways because he did board the connecting flight and continue his journey to New York. Hannah's family assumed she was on standby for another plane to New York. The family is said to have viewed surveillance footage showing Hannah with her suitcase and a backpack at LAX, despite luggage being transported to a person's final destination. On November 9th, Hannah texted her family to provide an update that she was going sightseeing in Los Angeles, planning to visit the Grove shopping mall in downtown LA. Hannah was seen at the Grove from 12 to 3 p.m., specifically at a bookstore charging her phone. At 2:43 p.m., she took a photo and texted it to her aunt, Lori Pigeon, from the bookstore. Hannah then made Venmo transactions to two unidentified individuals. She makes one transaction at 6:25 p.m. to a woman named Veronica for an undisclosed amount, with the description only showing a bow and arrow emoji. The second payment, made less than an hour at 7:19 p.m., was to a man named Jonathan Taylor with the description, reading. Jonathan has since been approached by those searching for Hannah on TikTok, but his account has since turned private. Jonathan has not responded to multiple requests for comment. Reddit users alleged Jonathan went live on social media to claim he introduced Hannah to a mysterious man and he doesn't know where she is now. However, these claims have not been substantiated. Hannah's family doesn't recognize these individuals, and the purpose behind these Venmo requests remains a mystery. The evening of November 9th, Hannah is spotted at LAX. On November 10th, a YouTube video surfaced showing footage of Hannah strolling through a Nike event at the Grove at 3:40 p.m. She posted to Instagram from the event. She is believed to have returned to LAX that evening. On November 11th, Hannah began sending her family strange and alarming texts. The text referenced her being intercepted as she got on a metro train and being scared that someone might be stealing her identity. One text to a friend says, quote, "Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all of my funds, and have had me on a mindfuck since Friday." Another said, quote, "I got tricked pretty much into giving away my funds for someone I thought I loved. I've been on the streets. Other texts read, quote, "I'm just really scared, love, and the redwoods are calling me, and I know I'm meant to be there. I'm being guided there, like you have before. I risk my freedom if this goes wrong for me, hun." And quote, "Hi, loves. I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening. I'm charging my phone and heading back to the airport to get to New York City. I might need some help getting there. It's a long story. I'll keep you posted. I think I still have my hotel room." In these texts, Hannah provided minimal details, expressing that it was a long story. She shared worries that she couldn't fly. Hannah's friends and family think the final string of text messages are suspect and didn't sound like her. Hannah has a distinct way of messaging and would typically end messages with heart emojis, stars, waves, rainbows, and the like. Hannah's sister, Sydney, believes the texts were sent by someone as it felt like someone was controlling Hannah. Sydney explained, quote, "Intuitively knowing her and being so close to her my entire life, I just know this is absolutely not like her." Hannah's aunt, Jordan Montalove, who was expecting a visit from Hannah in New York, called Hannah after receiving the alarming texts. Jordan noted Hannah sounded paranoid. She asked Hannah if she was with people, and Hannah said yes, but was vague about it. Hannah was then asked if she felt safe, to which she responded, "I think so." Hannah told her aunt she was going back to LAX to see if she could talk to American Airlines to reschedule her flight. Hannah's phone was turned off shortly after. Her phone has remained turned off since the 11th, and Hannah's family notes that their text won't send, calls are sent straight to voicemail, and her location is unable to be pinged. Hannah then returned to LAX and spoke to an American Airlines agent between 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. She then boarded the LAX Metro C line at Aviation Century Station at 9:04 p.m. She then transferred trains at the Rosa Parks station. It is confirmed she was accompanied by an unknown individual for the duration of her time on the Metro. She was spotted on surveillance video around 10 p.m. in downtown LA near the Pico Metro station. Hannah was wearing the same clothing she had worn when she first arrived from Maui, a black hoodie and tie-dyed leggings. Her aunt Lori said Hannah did not look well in the video. Hannah's family say she had no reason to visit the Metro stop so late at night and believed she was misled or forced to be there. Her family now believes that Hannah was drugged. Police have not released this footage. On November 12th at 6:30 a.m., Hannah is seen at the Greyhound terminal at Union Station. Her loved ones begin flying to California from Hawaii to form a search party. Hannah's family filed a formal missing persons report in California, and the Los Angeles Police Department posted on social media about her disappearance. Volunteers joined the search with efforts focusing on the downtown area, out around the airport and the Grove. Hannah's dad, Ryan, searched through some of LA's most dangerous neighborhoods, including Skid Row. Ryan called the search for his daughter every parent's nightmare. Hannah's family worried that she was kidnapped and possibly sold into sex trafficking. On November 15th, the LAPD created a missing persons poster for Hannah and described her as being last seen at the airport. During the week of November 17th, more family members flew from Hawaii to California to hold a news conference. Hannah's aunt Lori said that following the conference, it seemed the LAPD was finally taking the case seriously. Detectives told the family they are retracing Hannah's steps and requested additional surveillance footage. On November 21st, Hannah's family held a rally blocks from where Hannah was last seen. This rally took place on the same day as the LA Lakers and Orlando Magic's game. Her family called for her to return home and hoped the rally would produce new leads. On November 22nd, Hannah's aunt Lori spoke with News Nation and provided an update that the entire family is playing the waiting game. On November 24th, around 4 a.m., officers responded to reports of a body being found in a parking lot near LA International Airport. When officers arrived, they discovered someone deceased. The body was identified as belonging to Hannah's father, Ryan, and his death was ruled a suicide. Ryan's family released a statement saying, quote, "After tirelessly searching throughout Los Angeles for 13 days, Hannah's father, Ryan Kobayashi, tragically took his own life. This loss has compounded the family's suffering immeasurably. The family asked for privacy as they grieve Ryan's death and urged the public to maintain focused on the search for Hannah. On November 26th, in a Board of Police Commissioners meeting, the LAPD chief, Jim McDonnell, provided an update on Hannah's case, saying investigators determined that Hannah intentionally missed her flight from LA to New York. Internet sleuths began spreading wild conspiracy theories, with the most popular being that she was abducted by a cult. Hannah's Instagram account shows that she followed Twin Flames associated accounts. Twin Flames is an online spiritual community that many consider a cult. Twin Flame is led by Jeff Devine, known as Father Christ, and his wife, Shaylee, known as Mother Christ. Twin Flames is known to charge members thousands of dollars while manipulating them into pursuing toxic relationships. Many speculated that Hannah's text about her spiritual awakening and losing money was referencing her involvement with Twin Flames. However, those conspiracy theories quickly dissipated when on November 2nd, authorities announced that Hannah was last seen on November 12th heading into Mexico after taking a bus to the border. She crossed into Baja California, a territory riddled with crime, murder, sex trafficking, and kidnapping. The Los Angeles police declared Hannah a voluntarily missing person and said she willfully crossed into Mexico to, quote, step away from modern connectivity, something they had seen on her socials. The LAPD's investigation will not continue into Mexico, but they urged the public to come forward with any credible information on her whereabouts. While the LAPD shared that it believes she voluntarily left the United States, Hannah's family insists the search is far from over. It has since been learned that Hannah was traveling to New York with an Argentinian national that she had secretly married named Alan, and Alan's own girlfriend, Mariana. The FBI is now looking at the case as a potential green card visa scheme gone wrong. Hannah's mother, Brandy, allegedly discovered immigration documents in her daughter's home, and it showed she was working with or in contact with an immigration attorney. Brandy allegedly tried to contact a lawyer, but the attorney was not cooperative. Hannah's family says it's completely out of character for Hannah to not be in touch with her loved ones. Her aunt Lori speaks to Hannah 2 to 3 times a week about anything, including music, dancing, and about the sunset she saw. Hannah is just that kind of person. She's very communicative and always checks in. Her family fears that Hannah's case is not a priority to officers. Hannah is described as 5 foot 10 inches tall and weighing about 140 pounds. She has brown hair and eyes and fair skin with freckles, as well as a tattoo of a knife on her forearm. Her family is still seeking answers and is hoping to get in contact with Hannah soon. Thank you for listening to Without a Trace with your host, Jolynn. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Hannah's disappearance. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe and follow Without a Trace on social media. And join me next week as I dive into another case.